Hey guys, it's Chris. Welcome back to K97.5. We're back with a classic Q&A for you this week. And this time we have something special for you lined up. We have some Eminem without me.
I've created a monster, cause nobody wants to see Marshall no more. They want shady, I'm chopped liver. Well, if you want shady, this is what I'll give you. A little bit of me mixed with some hard liquor, some vodka that'll jumpstart my heart quicker than a shock when I get shocked at the hospital by the doctor when I'm not cooperating, when I'm rocking the table while he's operating.
Hey guys, it's Chris. I'm back with James from Daily Use of Sports Trivia, and we're back for a classic Q&A.
Dust on the throne.
That's right. We hadn't been here in a while. Last time we did this, you were just still Daily Use of Sports Trivia.
That's it.
That's right?
Yeah, I don't think my new channel existed.
Yeah, no shit. So
This feels
anyway,
crazy.
this is retro.
I know.
This is retro style. That's what we're doing. We're going retro today. So anyway, what we're going to do is pull some questions from Patreon. We had all these live chats going on throughout the season, and the season's already over. So we wanted to start getting back to some classic Q&As, pulling some questions from Patreon, as well as a few from the regular videos as well. For you guys, so let's get into it for Game of Thrones Season 7 and probably some Season 8 predictions.
I think so.
Anyway, before we get started, I want to thank a couple of new Patreons. I really appreciate the support. We have Amberlyn McKay. Thank you so much, Amberlyn. We have Muge Ericut. I think I'm saying that correctly, but thank you, Muge. Also, Marc Northard. Thank you, Marc. And as well as Don Murphy. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the support on Patreon. So anyway, let's get into it and answer some Patreon questions.
First up, we have Ashley May.
Ashley May. Thank you, Ashley.
Ashley says, I wonder what Tyrion said to Cersei to convince her to return to the Dragon Pit and falsely pledge her troops to the fight against the White Walkers. I was confused. Did Tyrion actually believe she changed her mind that quickly? Tyrion didn't say anything to Dany or Jon that they should question her motives. Is it possible that Tyrion and Cersei are scheming together? Hard to see Tyrion betraying Dany, but this is a Game of Thrones.
Yeah. We kind of talked about this on your channel. We just did a video, by the way, that will be out on James's channel, Dust on the Throne. It was kind of a Season 7 wrap-up and a few Season 8 predictions. We talked about that a little bit there. I don't think Tyrion is going to betray her either. I think Tyrion got the deal done, but he probably doesn't actually believe she'll follow through on it. But at least the deal's done, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because, in other words, he got the deal done for her to agree. That's all he could really do. It's up to her to follow through with it. He trusts Jaime.
Yes.
He trusts Jaime to follow through, and which we will see happen. But obviously, he's not bringing the Lannister soldiers with him. So I think that I don't think it's like the look on the boat scene was a look of worry. I don't think it was his place to promise, that her child would be some heir. I've seen that going around.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's the case by any means. So I think it was just a concerned look about the future. He's worried about the big picture after this war with the White Walkers, about this new world, breaking the wheel, keeping it broken, all that good stuff. So I think, that was the concerned look.
How scale of 1 to 10, how surprised would you be if, in fact, you found out that him and Cersei did plot to do something?
Yeah, I would, on a scale of 1 to 10, 12.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That Tyrion, because like we mentioned in your video, I don't think that it really sold me on the fact that Tyrion believes 100% in Dany last season when he was named Hand of the Queen.
Couldn't agree more.
That look said it all, and he's generally cares about her and what she's doing and believes in her, and checking her impulses, the whole Mad Queen thing that people think is there within her, fire and blood. So I don't think she would ever plot against Dany, especially with Cersei. He hates her. He knows her well. He knows she's he said in episode 7, the most murderous woman in the world.
Yes.
So, I don't buy it. I think the concern was more about how Dany's going to now react with a complicated relationship moving forward past the war for the White Walker, or
and
for the Dawn.
If I could just add maybe my 2 cents, if you notice, Season 7, they wanted to show Tyrion stumbling.
Yes, absolutely.
Wanted to show Dany questioning, are you still loyal to your family?
Yes, absolutely.
So they're setting
big
these guys,
thread.
they're setting the audience up to almost feel
it's a very good storyline, little thread there about questioning his loyalty. So they definitely want you to think that.
They
for
want
sure.
you to think that.
Absolutely.
And I'm with you. The look when she validated him and gave him the pen, he'll die for her.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No doubt.
After that long vetting process back in Marine and all the things they've been through, and you know, the whole thing about this year about the Mad Queen versus listening to Olenna, you know, be a dragon versus Tyrion, don't burn cities to the ground. Then Jon comes in and validates what Tyrion says.
Yeah.
So she didn't burn a city, she just burned two or three people. I mean, you know, after giving them a choice.
Yeah.
Now, the other people decided to, instead of laying down their arms and just putting their shit down, they chose to fight.
She burnt crop circles in them motherfuckers.
Absolutely.
That can be edited.
Yeah, no, that's great.
All right, next question, Bo Baratheon.
Thank you, Bo.
Bo says, do you think the Battle for the Dawn will be the final battle, or will you get to see the battle for King's Landing?
Yeah, I think, and this is where we were talking about this a little bit on your video as well. I think we see both, and I think it's going to happen concurrently almost. I don't think Dany will ever go and fight for King's Landing in the sense of, all right, the war over here is over, so now I'm going to go take the city.
Right.
Because I'm not sure she'll be there at the end of this thing.
Yeah, no.
I'm not, you know, I'm starting to lean that way more and more, like, you know, if the Night King has to die with the symmetry thing, that Dany may have to as well.
Right.
We saw, I don't know, we saw the throne room thing where she chose not to take the throne. So I think at some point she realizes that that's what her destiny was, to save the world with dragons, help save the world, along with other people, being Azor Ahai, being the princess that was promised, along with Jon in a different way. So yeah, I really like how they're going to do though, and I mentioned before the Team Jon Dany sandwich.
Right. I was going to get you to say that if
Night
you didn't.
King coming south. Cersei's going to do something stupid and try to attack the living as they
try to retreat.
And then you're going to have the Cersei technically teaming up with the Night King, whether they meet or not. Maybe they will meet, but yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
Right. Well, so Dany's not gonna die and be brought back like Jon.
Oh.
So then they can be the couple who both died and came back.
You know,
to life.
that's interesting. You know, we have Beric still around the TV show.
I know.
A lot of people think that Beric's going to do something for the Hound. I don't know if Beric ever sees the Hound again, though, now. He's still at the wall, and they did survive that. They got away, but,
She's awful interested in his scars, so I could totally see something. I mean, I'm not saying I'm buying into that, but you know what I'm saying.
No, there's no telling. But I think if that happened though, it would take away from Jon.
It would.
I mean, even though Beric was the foreshadowing for Jon, he technically was brought back 6 times, but that was the foreshadowing for Jon coming back, which is why they cut Catelyn from the show, being Lady Stoneheart.
And you actually said you backtracked a little, you backpedaled a little bit early on. You always thought this was going to end up with one big battle.
Yeah, long ago I did.
Yeah,
you
now,
kind of got the feeling it was going to, the political stuff would be finished up, and
by
then,
the end of season 7.
Yeah, you thought it was going to wrap up, but I actually liked the idea of there still being complications with Cersei, and that's how she made it to the end game.
I sure do too. And Bo Baratheon again says, speaking of King's Landing, when we've seen the visions of a dragon flying over King's Landing, I think we all assumed it was Dany, but what are the chances that it's the Night King flying over?
The only reason I would think it would not be because in the vision, if you're taking it literally, there's still sun. There's still sunny in King's Landing.
That's right. You saw the shadows.
So I think the idea was, since Bran had those, and I believe in season 4, it was just foreshadowing for dragons in King's Landing in Westeros again, being Dany.
I see.
So technically it could be, but if you take the vision literally, it was still sunny, and we just saw in episode 7 the gorgeous shots and awesome music, by the way.
Yes. Of
King's Landing in the snow. You just felt like, oh shit, here it comes.
I know.
So it was real snowy and wintry looking. So,
and our tears hitting the floor. We're in time with the snowflakes coming down, because we knew we've been waiting to see snow there. And it's over.
Exactly.
So here we have patron Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
It says, Q&A, Jaime led the ambush on Ned and Jory, yet he's not on Arya's list. What are your thoughts? That's a good question.
Yeah, I've always wondered, but a lot of people have questioned it, I'm sure. But I don't think I don't think Arya knows anything specific about what Jaime's done.
You're right.
So that's the thing. He doesn't know that he pushed Bran. Or she doesn't know that he pushed Bran. She doesn't know that he specifically attacked Ned, who it was. It was just the Lannisters. That's all she really knows. So she knows no specifics, but that makes me question in season 8 when he goes to Winterfell. I'm assuming he's going up north to join.
And that gets brought up.
That him and Bran are going to have a meeting. Now, Bran won't care. Bran will actually probably thank him.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah, because he became the Three-Eyed Crow because that essentially he would have never gone beyond the wall and found Bloodraven. But if, for example, Bran just happened to mention that to Arya, well, she's going to scribble that name down, and that makes me worry about, but...
So, okay, let me throw this at you. And I'm not saying that I haven't heard this before. Now I'm getting in the way you used to talk when I first started.
Exactly.
She kills Jaime, takes his face,
right.
Kills Cersei.
It still fulfills the prophecy. Yeah,
that's just crazy.
I mentioned that sometime, and I'm sure I'm not the first one to mention that whatsoever. But yeah, it's a possibility that she finds out, and she would, assuming she still has that dark side. It's not completely gone yet. We did see the good makeup scene with Sansa, where you saw her humanity again, thinking about her father. I miss him, the lone wolf, and all that kind of thing. But I think that was setting up the idea of Cersei being the lone wolf.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is banding together, and Cersei's down here still like, nah, we still going to try to kill all y'all because y'all going to try to kill me. This is still kind of, like she still really don't get
You're right.
the impact of what she just saw, as far as the White.
Even though Arya showed her human side, she still showed what she's capable of.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's still there. She didn't just come back to Winterfell to kill Littlefinger using those awesome ninja skills. It's going to come into play again in Season 8. Now, I think that probably ties to the Endgame, but on the way, we could see a Jaime or a Cersei or something along those lines.
Having said that, I don't want it to play out that way.
No.
I don't want her to wear his face down.
No.
I want to see him.
It has to be, for the story, for the thread to be wrapped up properly.
Exactly. Good way to put it.
Tied up with a nice little bow. You have to be at Jaime himself wanting to do it or doing it to save the city or whatever the case is. Right. Jaime has to do it himself, not a fake Jaime.
And something tells me we'll see another heart-to-heart with Jaime and Tyrion. Where
I think so.
Jaime kind of like validates Tyrion like Dany did, and basically says, all this time I was an arrogant SOB, but deep down,
yes,
I respected you. I was intimidated by your brain power and all this stuff.
I think so too. I see now completely what you saw in Cersei long ago.
Yes,
type of thing.
He's definitely going to say that.
I definitely,
for sure.
I think so.
Well, moving on, we got Dean Crow's Eye Bridwell. Okay.
Dean Bwell. Thank you, Dean.
Thank you. Here you go, Chris. Q&A. What's up with Tyrion's decision making? Here we go.
Right.
He was one of the craftiest roles on the show. Now he has spent season 7 looking like a dolt. Even last episode, he's begging for Cersei's help and waddles out like, ka-kunk, ka-kunk, ka-kunk.
The Beatles.
I smashed the Beatles.
The Beatles. Good call.
Dang, that is cool.
Good callback.
Knowing what he knows of his sister, he still has not planned one thing that has worked and outflanked over and over. Now he trusts her like her word is golden. I love this season, but is he doing the shit on purpose, or has all that wine burned his brain since earlier seasons?
Yeah, I think we kind of answered that previously.
I think so,
I think it's the same basic answer. I don't think they did mean to show his flaws. They did mean to show his lack of experience as a battle commander versus Jaime. And Jaime learning from Robb Stark and the whole, fake move to take Castle Rock. And that was all there to show you and to kind of get you believing that maybe he, like Dany brought up himself, maybe he is protecting his family in some way. But I don't think that'll pan out. I think ultimately he does. He's completely 100% behind Dany. I don't think, like I said before, that I think he believes Jaime. He made the deal and got it done, which was his goal. But he can't follow up for Cersei. So he probably is 50-50 on whether she'll actually do anything about it.
Now, let me ask you this. Does Cersei being pregnant with Jaime's kid, and Tyrion assumes that's Jaime's baby.
Yes.
Does that mess up? Does that throw a monkey wrench?
Yeah, I mean, it could, because Tyrion does care about, like he always loved Tommen and Myrcella and the kids. He always loved the kids except for Joffrey.
Yep.
Nobody loved Joffrey. Even Cersei saw how crazy Joffrey was as a young kid. But still her kids, and he does care for his family and individual people. It's this whole Lannister thing with Tywin, about how he was done in Mock being a dwarf his whole life, and Cersei trying to kill him several times and all this stuff. So it's more of an individual hate versus a Lannister hate. You know what I mean? So yeah. So ultimately, I think that could throw a wrench in it too.
Because remember the battlefield scene.
Yes.
So he's seen some Lannisters get wiped out.
He's telling his brother to run.
Yeah.
Like, get out of there, motherfucker.
And now she's pregnant. I don't know, man.
Yeah, definitely he wouldn't want her to be killed right now.
That's what I'm thinking.
Now, I mean, would he be sad about it later? Maybe not. But yeah, he won't. I'm sure he's concerned about the child.
Once this kid's born, I think she's fair game.
Yeah, if it's born.
If it makes it.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people brought up a good point in live streams previously that we'll probably never see that happen. Yeah, I think that may have been a scene that was actually cut out of season 7, was perhaps a miscarriage scene.
Okay.
To my understanding, I'm not 100% on that yet, but I think there were 3 or 4 that I've read about so far. That one being potentially where Cersei, wakes up in a bed of blood, kind of paralleling the Lyanna thing in the past.
Wow.
I think there was a scene with Sansa and Bran where they talk about the past with Littlefinger, and she learns all the things he actually did that she never saw, and of course Arya learns that as well, which has led to the setup. And then I believe there was one with Ghost, wherever Ghost was.
Ghost, damn it.
It was a goodbye scene with Jon, like we mentioned. Like he should have just said goodbye, Ghost. Say, take care of Sansa. Yeah, it was that scene. So it was actually filmed and cut. How do you film it and not put it in there, but you put in some random shot of Pod and Bronn walking off in the dragon pit?
Good point.
Like they wasted 10 seconds on that.
And you had said prior that they cut out part of the Hound's vision or something like that, right? Or a line.
Yeah, a piece of the line of vision, like the seas are frozen.
Just
one line.
Okay,
or like the seas were frozen or something.
So let's see. We have John Carey. Thanks a lot, John.
Thank you, John.
It says, I agree with Peach. Hope to see James in these Q&A. Hey now. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, John and Peach. After seeing how rushed this season was, not saying they didn't answer a lot of questions, do you still think Dan and Dave are following the book? I mean, as much as I love the action and CGI, I feel that the attention to detail has been lost. All the little things George gives us. I read recently that George was promoting The Last Night or something like that, a TV show,
right,
but turned around and said he didn't have time to watch Game of Thrones. Another article had him complaining about all the people that have been killed off, and that to him, they're still alive. Just wondering if D&D are misrepresenting George's vision. I don't know, guess we'll find out when or if the book drops. Keep up the great work. Hope you got more subscribers with this last season going by so quick.
Yeah, thank you, John. First off, I do think, and I think we're basically seeing Winds of Winter and some of the ideas of Dream of Spring. You got to think about it. Winds of Winter's basically done. He might be reordering some chapters and changing a few things, before he finally publishes it. Hopefully next year, and I think it will come out next year finally. But I think they have more than people think or would like to admit.
Right. So as soon as he says it's done, they are privy to that.
Oh yeah, they had, like, we've already got the public has 3 or 4 sample chapters that are going to be in the book.
There you go.
They've had they've had the majority of the book for the last 2-3 years.
Oh, cool.
So there's no way they're not. People think they're just writing it and they are making some things up, sure, because we're into Dream of Spring territory already.
Yeah, that's right.
But they have been using Winds of Winter. I mean, we saw that in season 5, as a matter of fact, when season 6, when Arya was over in Bravos, the whole Mercy chapter we saw, that was Winds of Winter material. So they have more information than people think. You know what I mean?
When John says he sees an article with him complaining about the people that have been killed off, and to him they're still alive.
Yeah.
Is he trolling?
No. He had to clarify a couple things. First of all, he does watch Game of Thrones. He had just said he was behind on Game of Thrones this year because he was overseas doing something or whatever, promoting this other thing, I believe, and the Blood of the Dragon coming out and all that stuff. So he does watch it, and he does comment when people ask him, like, what do you think about them killing, for example, Stannis off? Well, Stannis is still alive in the books as of now. Mm-hmm. But if you don't think Stannis is going to die, now he may do a twist with Stannis or something. I think he did mention maybe a twist with him.
Okay.
But if you don't think, for example, Shireen's not going to burn in the books, you haven't been paying attention, because that was one of the things that was revealed, like Hodor
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So whether people like it or not, Dan and Dave are working. Yes, they're changing a lot of stuff. There's not going to be, and well, think about the detail part, right? When you read a chapter of a book, you might read an entire page or two and get the picture in your head of what Tyrion is wearing and what food he's eating.
Right.
On TV, you see that in 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, just like that.
So the detail, just think about, if you take these books right here, right? This book wouldn't be this thick. It would be about this thick if you took out all the clothes descriptions and food descriptions. But now there are good details and secrets and little things, hints in there in that stuff. It's great. That's what makes it so freaking wonderful.
That's right.
It's so much depth to it now, and background and backstory and history. But yeah, I think they are going into other territory. They've said that. Georgia said that. But at the same time, you know good and damn well they do have the ending. It's been said. They have the idea, the ending, what's going to happen. They have the big twists. So whether they're going to deviate, but they are basically following his material still, even though the book's not published. Because think about it. He's been writing it for 5 years.
So
you know he's handed them stuff. This is going to be in the book. This is going to be in the book, even if it's a few chapters at a time. You know what I mean? So
with like the Stannis example you gave, he may prolong someone's life, but the end game players will all be the same.
Yes, it should be. Yes,
I can see that.
All right, guys. So that'll wrap it up for another Game of Thrones season 8. Damn, season 8 Q&A.
So weird.
Already working on season 8. I've already got a season 8 playlist on YouTube. Wow. That was fast.
Listen, I can't wait till they see this video, ask questions, and we can do this again. This, like you said, it's retro feeling, and I'm excited.
Exactly.
About it.
So that's what I was going to say. So just to let you guys know, I think we'll continue to do some live streams.
I hope so.
Sunday nights are boring now, so I know, and you've been asking for it. I've already seen comments and Patreons especially. So
I feel lost on Sunday nights.
Yeah. So I think, and we can do it this time without being in such a rush, because we were always in a rush, like we got to get everything set up and then watch the show and try to enjoy it, but then try to take notes. So it's kind of a rush thing. So we'll continue to do live streams, and then weekly, hopefully weekly, we'll try to do these Patreon and regular kind of comment Q&As, our classic stuff with some music. There'll be plenty more season 8 prediction videos as time passes. There'll be more filming news. I just did a post on Patreon about, some changes and some other things, maybe on the vlog channel and gaming channel as well, since it's the off season and stuff like that. Potentially some other shows, like Stranger Things is coming. Star Wars is coming around December, so at least a couple of those. But anyway, as far as Game of Thrones material, there'll always be a weekly or probably two videos a week on Game of Thrones. A live stream and a Q&A or some kind of theory video or something.
And we're thinking about dusting off something. And
Yes. And so people have been asking, and we already talked about
we've been thinking about it too.
Remastered version, and I've done a couple little videos where I actually pulled from this particular series, but I think we'll plan on Dragon Raised by Wolves Part 5.
We're gonna tune it in.
We'll try to tune it in to a really detailed guess, just to see if we're close. So we'll plan that for sure. Dragon Raised by Wolves Part 5.
We can't be far off. We've already nailed so many things.
Yeah, I think a lot has been confirmed already.
Yeah.
So and I think I'll go back through those videos and pull out some more of those little clips and remaster them, add some new updated screenshots or whatever, and see if we can kind of put out some of that stuff.
That's right.
As far as like what we got so far. Maybe we can do a whole video on like we played this clip, here's what we said, and we can play the payoff clip.
That's right.
Or and what we got wrong too. We can just we can do ding or or something.
Muhammad Ali lost 5 fights.
That's
still the greatest.
That's right, exactly. So and Michael Jordan,
There you go.
The GOAT. Anyway, guys, thank you for all the support, especially to you guys on Patreon, and thank you for the questions. And we'll continue to do these Patreon-only questions as well as pull some from the regular comments as well throughout these Q&As. But a special shout-out to my executive Patreon SmokeScreen producers, Hall Griffin, Ball Guy 10, Lala Gig, Kissa Powell, Marc Joseph, a.k.a. The Snow in Winterfell, Marylin Bentley, JoAnna, Anonymous, Doc Holliday, Goska, HoonJive, Nicki Snow, Lo Horton, Erin Habig, Ashley May, Dean Bwell, John Carey, Anastasia, Jason Landers, Rhiaanon, DTizSmith, and NJW. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate the support. And to everybody out there in YouTube land, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all the subscriptions and shares and likes and all that good stuff. Really appreciate it. Be sure to subscribe to get everything, and be sure to click that notification bell so you're notified when I drop a new video. Also, really quickly, James on Dust on the Throne, we just released a video there with season 7 wrap up and some season 8 predictions as well. So go check that out. That link will be in the description below. So check out Dust on the Throne. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
Without me, I said this looks like a job for me. So everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause it feels so